Disney have been around since 1923, and they have entertained several generations. They have had several hits, some massive bombs, and occasionally sparked some controversies. I'm a massive Disney lover, given that's what my channel is all about, and today I want to have a load of fun and talk about some of my personal Disney unpopular opinions, but also, with help from my good friend Baby Giraffe, we're going to hear some of his.
Absolutely, and we will be including Pixar in this as well. Even though Ed usually likes to separate them, the reality is Pixar is owned by Disney. They are still their own company, but for today's video, they are included.
Absolutely. Disney is such a personal brand because I think every single person out there has a favorite Disney movie. So I thought we'd give you some of our personal unpopular Disney opinions, and you guys can put yours in the comment section below. My first one is that it's okay that Disney films look the same. This one is very recent and even goes into Pixar about the animation style being the same. The famous pill mouth when it comes to Pixar, and the fact that Disney princesses kind of all look like they could fit in the same world. I find this whole thing just completely bogus, as not only was older Disney films all share a very similar animation style, but there's nothing wrong with a company having their own in-house animation style. The difference is the characters they design. Pixar's human characters all look the same because they are all human, but comparing the character designs to toys, bugs, monsters, cars, and fish all seem a little silly when these things are all vastly different. They're just doing more stories with more humans, and considering how Pixar don't just want to do another sentient being movie, then I can see why more movies about humans are being made. Baby Giraffe, what do you think?
There's definitely nothing wrong with an animation studio having its own house style, but I would rather focus on having every film be stylized to fit each film as strongly as possible. I really liked the quote-unquote bean mouth style with Luca, but having that style for every movie is starting to drive me crazy.
Fair play.
I hope this is the mildest of all my takes. The Incredibles is the best superhero film ever made.
I said let him cook!
Every time I watch The Incredibles, I am blown away by how much characterization they're able to give every character in just an hour and a half. It created a world that feels so believable and characters you can really connect with. Mr. Incredible struggles with very real struggles with his family and himself, doubting he can be the husband and father he needs to be for his family. The family dynamic and relationship in this film is the gold standard every family film should strive for. The movie leaves you begging to know more about the world building, characters, and where the story goes next, which is why Incredibles 2 is garbage. Why The Incredibles is the best superhero movie. Also, the soundtrack is insane, possibly Pixar's best.
Oh, dude, 100%, that soundtrack slaps. My second is Lightyear is a good movie. I am sick of the hate on Lightyear. I just don't think people actually give a real reason as to why they hate this movie. I mean, look, I'm going to admit it, it's not perfect, but let's go through the issues that most people have with it. The first being, why didn't they get Tim Allen to voice Buzz? My answer is that this is not the same character. One is a film character, the other is a toy, and toys based on IPs are famously not voiced by their original voice actors. Just like how Woody toys are not voiced by Tom Hanks, they're voiced by his brother.
Ah, boy, am I glad to see you.
Is that you?
No, it's my brother Jim.
The second problem most people have is that Zurg is Buzz in the future. Spoiler if you haven't seen it. Now look, I don't think this is the best, but you understand that thanks to the events of Toy Story 2, the twist of Zurg being the father was never going to make it into this movie. That whole bit was just a gag from a famous movie that I kinda don't really need to mention. The reveal of it being a time travel movie is the reason I like this movie. It's a huge homage to classic sci-fi films like Aliens, 2001: A Space Odyssey, and Interstellar. Pixar are obviously well known giving us very emotional movies that make us bawl our eyes out, but Lightyear just wanted to give us some cool action, and I love that cool action, so I love this movie. Yay, Lightyear!
My next hot take is Home on the Range isn't bad. It was unfortunately the film that made Disney decide to stop making 2D animated movies, but that's not because the movie itself was horrible, it just didn't make any money. The film is very entertaining, hooking you with a mysterious villain, giving you a set of divided protagonists who some want to save their farm, one wants revenge, and another just wants to be a hero. I think it handles all its protagonist stories pretty well. The villain and his crew get a lot of hate, which I can understand if you're an art hater.
Philistine!
There are drawbacks to this movie, but not enough for me to say it's bad. And I hate to spoil it for those who haven't seen it, but it also has one of my favorite Disney twist villains in it as well. It definitely doesn't deserve all the hate it gets.
My next one is Encanto is an average movie with even more annoying and average songs. I really need to do a video on this film, but I might be spoiling it because Encanto for me is just average. To be fair, there is things I do like about this movie. Its culture, the voice cast are phenomenal, but it's just let down with an average, predictable story and relies heavily on Lin-Manuel Miranda's score, which I usually don't mind. I understand his style isn't for me, but there are plenty of his songs that I enjoy. Moana for me has a fantastic soundtrack, and I think it's easy to say that Hamilton is kind of a big success. But Encanto is just constant rap lyrics that is played so fast that I can't understand any of it.
What are you saying?
Seriously, I don't understand how anyone sings along in this film because the only way you know the lyrics is by typing them into Google. Encanto is just purely let's give Lin-Manuel Miranda a shed load of energy drinks and let him fly. I really don't ever want to talk about Bruno ever again.
It is my opinion that the Lion King remake is the most creatively bankrupt film I have ever seen. A decent amount of people dislike this remake, but I've really thought about why I dislike it so much. Pretty much every detail of the film is void of creativity. The animation is the downgrade of all downgrades. Somehow they managed to make every character lame, including Scar, who is a lot of people's favorite villain. Animation is a tool that allows us to show anything we can imagine, and taking a great film that used that and remaking it to mimic realism with no purpose other than to make money is beyond sad.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
My next one is The Jungle Book is the most underrated Disney movie. Now, usually, I would say the most underrated Disney movie is Treasure Planet, but if you've seen that film and you know how good it is, I don't think it's that much of a hot take. But everyone really knows The Jungle Book. Everyone sings the soundtrack, everybody loves Bare Necessities and I Wanna Be Like You, and it got even a relatively good remake. But people trash on this movie online, some of them even saying that the remake is an improved version. Not only are the songs some of the most incredible songs ever written, but the voice cast is absolutely perfect, and it is just one of the most joyful films to watch. I think people forget how Disney used to make really fun and joyful films. While I appreciate modern Disney for breaking boundaries and going for more serious tones, Disney back in the day would just make really fun films with killer soundtracks and some stunning animation, and Jungle Book is massively overlooked.
The Jungle Book is great, definitely a slept-on Disney film. That's What Friends Are For is probably my favorite, but I Want to Be Like You and Bare Necessities are pretty close.
I've got it! This time I've really got it!
So you've got it.
Cars 2 is no longer Pixar's worst film. I'm not saying it's great, I'm just pushing back on the idea that Cars 2 should be the punching bag for all the Pixar movies. When it came out, yes, it was Pixar's worst film. But now I'd argue we'd had some real stinkers that surpassed it. Cars 2 is a very funny movie about how we should treat others who are like Mater. But if you came away from the movie thinking Mater is stupid, I want you to then honestly explain to me why that makes the whole film bad. Because no one can convince me that the plot is the reason why Cars 2 is the worst Pixar film, because Incredibles 2 exists. No one can convince me that the comedy is worse than whatever Turning Red was trying to do, and certainly no one can tell me The Good Dinosaur has a better message than Cars 2. It's nowhere near Pixar's top 10, but it's definitely no longer Pixar's worst film.
Is this a bad time to tell you I love The Good Dinosaur? My next one is Disney musicals aren't as good as they used to be. Now, I know this is a personal preference. I'm not saying that modern Disney musicals aren't good, but I just find that they aren't as good as they used to be. Disney musicals are a huge part of the Disney brand. It's not to say that modern Disney musicals aren't fun, but for me, the moment where Disney changed their perspective on Disney musicals is with Frozen. Frozen was the film where Disney thought that the soundtrack of their movies is more about making songs to win awards rather than making meaningful music for interesting stories. Look no further than Wish. Every song is trying to be the next Let It Go with belting show tunes and over-the-top lyrics. As a musical theatre graduate, the reason music live on stage and music on film is so different is because of how they are performed. There's a reason Les Mis the film is regarded as some of the worst performing on film because that music isn't made for film. Disney movies used to be about making music that improved and served the narrative of the story, whereas now, it's more about trying to show off.
Completely agree. I like Frozen and Moana quite a bit, but they've got nothing on older Disney musicals. It's really not much of a competition. Older Disney musicals were just built different. Next hot take, Wish wasn't that bad. I saw Wish in theaters and really didn't like it. So when I saw YouTubers' reviews start coming out, I was happy to see everyone was calling it out for how bad it was. But it literally took less than maybe a week for everyone to lose their minds. For some reason, Wish became the new Cars 2. So many people were calling it Disney's worst film in decades, or ever. And I think we should all just calm down a bit. I like dunking on bad movies just as much as everyone, but only when it's deserved. Wish does have some redeeming qualities. Definitely not the music, but its animation is alright. I'm glad they experimented. And it has some great performances. And its message is nice, even though they fumbled the execution at the end. To be clear, Wish and Cars 2 are not good, but even they deserve to be looked at fairly. And by golly, I don't think all the hate is deserved.
Yeah, Wish wasn't bad, it was just disappointing. Next up, this is my last one. Oh god, I'm gonna get hate for this. The Lion King is overrated, and if it's your favourite, then I feel like you've never had an original thought.
Now you hold on a minute, sugar tits.
Look, The Lion King is a good movie, there's no doubt about it, but saying it's your favourite, or it's the best, it's just the most basic answer. It's like saying espresso martinis are your favourite cocktails, or Pikachu is your favourite Pokemon, or chicken is your favourite roast dinner dish. There's nothing wrong with these answers, but it's just the most common and easiest option. When I ask people their favourite Disney movies, I always love asking why they like it, and why it connects with them, and the reason they give are always so incredibly well thought, and allows for some awesome conversation and free thinking. But people who like The Lion King as their favourite, they don't really have an answer for you other than, well, it's The Lion King, it's the best. I just find a lot more Disney films more interesting because they're not trying to appeal to a wider audience. My two favourite Disney movies are The Jungle Book and Treasure Planet, and these two are vastly different styles of movies because they both offer something different. But I find with The Lion King, they're just trying to appeal to everyone. And by appealing to everyone, you're appealing to no one. Again, I love The Lion King, but it's just not even in my top 10.
I could not disagree more. The Lion King's reputation is well deserved. It's one of Disney's best films. I totally understand why it's consistently ranked as Disney's #1. There's a few movies I like more, but even I have to admit some of my favorites like Tangled, Sleeping Beauty, and Hercules aren't as good as The Lion King. This is my hot take that usually catches people off guard, because I believe Sleeping Beauty is the best looking animated film. It is jaw-dropping levels of gorgeous. There are many contenders for the best looking animation. Studio Ghibli films, 2D and 3D hybrid films, and maybe some stop motion movies as well. But I've never seen anything that grabs my attention like Sleeping Beauty. The backgrounds are so intricate and detailed, it puts nearly everything else to shame. And when we do get a film with equally beautiful set pieces, they can't quite match the way Sleeping Beauty makes its characters come to life in the world. Somehow, it can have glowing, bright fairies with stylized medieval architecture. The story is simple, but I never get tired of rewatching it because of how beautiful it is. If you have not seen it, please go check it out.
So thank you for joining us in this video. I'm really sorry if I upset you, Baby Giraffe.
It's okay, Ed. I still cannot believe all the hate on The Lion King.
Yeah, I know, I can already feel the hate in the comments. Make sure to check out Baby Giraffe right here. His link will be in the description. Thank you so much for joining me, buddy.
Thanks for having me.
As always, like and subscribe always helps, guys, and join the Discord group where you can chat to both me and Baby Giraffe and tell us how right or wrong we are. Grab your merch and click the video being recommended for you on screen. It helps out massively. Let us know some of your unpopular opinions in the comment section below, and I'll see you all in the next one.